reason my father became a teacher and someone on the board of elders is because he's a man, and I think because he's white. If he was African American or Asian, he wouldn't be on that. He wouldn't be on that board. I know that for a fact. One time they actually added a woman because she did the job of lawn care and had to be on the board so she could schedule lawn care activities, lawn care updates, which was more of a stereotypical man's role. But since no men had the background in lawn care and had a clue how to do it, and she did, they made an exception and let her. But it wasn't, oh, she's the best for the job, she gets it. It's, can we let her do it? Like, are you kidding me? And there was a really big stink in the Baptist church 10 years ago when they let a woman who dressed and acted very non-binary to be the interim for sound equipment manager. My mother made a big stink about it. I think it's because she didn't dress traditionally female and was doing a male job being a woman. That's sexist. Of course, now I know it was sexist. Back then, I didn't know it was sexist. People in these environments grow up without having a clue what sexism is, misogyny. Religion would not last, wouldn't exist and be powerful, influential, and get Trump elected if one gender didn't oppress the other gender. And women are not the minority here. Women on average make up 51 to 53% of a church. We outnumber the men 9 out of 10 times. Why do we let men treat us like crap? Why do we let women teach other women how to think they are crap? Because nobody enables and carries on the cycle of abuse like older women do. Because we're conditioned, we're brainwashed, we're indoctrinated to believe that women can only do this, and if they don't do this, they're going to hell. Or if they do this thing they're not supposed to be doing, they are a judgment, a symbol of God's judgment. I mean, in my opinion, if I believed in a God, I think it would be God's judgment to have leadership that treated people like this, viewed women like this, and behaved like this. Women are not God's instrument of punishment. I think the universe or karma is punishing bad institutions by possibly giving them what they deserve, which is bad leaders. When you have bad voters, you get a bad leader. It's cause and effect. When you have people who believe men are superior and that men should never do womanly things, should never behave like a woman, and women are systematically brainwashed and indoctrinated where they can only do a few things and they have a role, which is basically be a housekeeper, maid, and baby maker, you barely have a right to vote. And if you vote differently from your spouse, I don't think most people would even tell their spouse they voted differently. I probably wouldn't have if I had been married back then. Thank goodness I never married, dated, or got involved with any of those people in those environments. My mother is extremely sexist. I mean I would say an 8 out of 10. She sometimes believes women can leave the home, but their job can never be primary. The woman always gives up her career if it's needed to. The man is not a dual parent. The mother does the job, and the father disciplines. It's never joint work. It's always you do this and he does whatever's left. I don't know much about how my father believes, but I'm pretty sure he believes the toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, sexist jargon. I'd probably bet money on it. And so did I. I believed it until maybe 4 months ago, right when I turned 31. And today, I've made it 90 days as a new atheist. The first 90 days are the hardest, trust me. And it's going to get harder because I'm coming out to my family. And I'm going to receive a lot of backlash. In the past month, I have received some of the most hateful, dismissive, dehumanizing, and nasty comments from Christians. The irony. People who are supposed to be spreading God's love, telling me why I left the church, telling me I'm not or wasn't a true believer, telling me that I'm going to hell or that they're going to tell God about me when they see me. There is no love coming from Christians. I have not received one message out of 100 from a Bible-believing or religious person that was anything like, I'm glad you found what works for you, or I'm glad you're getting therapy and help. It's always about evangelizing or damning me to hell. This is the shame I'm talking about. If you don't believe everything they believe in the way they believe it, when they believe it, and going about believing it the way they want you to put it into practice, they shame you. I've been called some really bad words by people who think that educating kids about the realities of homophobia, racism, and sexism makes me a child groomer. That's not being a child groomer. That's being a mature, influential person. In my opinion, the real groomers are people that get children while they're young, indoctrinate them, groom them, so by the time they start having critical thinking, just out of high school, they're so entrenched in narrow tunnel vision religions of high control, they only choose what they know because that's all they know, which is why I'd say half the people who grow up in church later leave the church, faith, and religion because they finally encounter something that's different. Kids don't choose to be Christians. Children don't choose to do anything. They're children. There's no such thing as a Christian child. They are a child. You can't attach a religion to somebody until they're 18 years of age, because then they can make their own decision. But even if they're an adult, if the only information, education, religious facts they know, a Christian worldview, if that's all they know, can they really make an objective choice when they've been told to distrust anything else? If a choice is made under fear of hell, fear of losing your social scene, fear of losing your faith in your ability to have a quality life, I don't think it's an objective choice. I don't. And to make a full circle, churches teach victim shaming and blaming. I believe secular and spiritual environments do this so well, we don't even see it as shaming. We see it as social justice. But social shaming can be used for good. We call it cancel culture. If someone does something terrible, we cancel their platform. We make it so they can't harm innocent, vulnerable people. Social ostracism can be a good thing, especially for people like Diddy, Weinstein, and all those people in positions of power that are terrible people. It shouldn't be used to bully, harass, shame, blame, or gaslight people who are courageous enough to say, this bad thing happened to me. And it's never your fault. Sure, you could have made better choices, but I mean, I can say that about what dinner I have every night or what clothing I buy. Hindsight is 20/20. Sometimes people make decisions believing the good in people. Most people go about their day thinking nothing bad will happen to me today. The odds of seeing someone famous or somebody wanted by the police are pretty nil. People don't think bad things will happen to them because we trust. We teach women to not be aggressive or say no loud enough. We make an environment where women freeze because they don't know how to be mean or shut down a situation because they were trained from birth in secular and spiritual cultures. Women don't get mad. Women aren't taken seriously or respected who get angry. Women aren't validated and infantilized. We need to stop telling people to be nice to somebody who doesn't respect you as a human being. We need to teach boys it's okay that girls behave in a lot of ways men do. And by that, I mean consenting, choosing their own partners. They have an identity outside of men. We need to stop shaming people for doing legal, healthy things. And even if someone does something that isn't healthy, like gain weight or stop exercising or does something that could harm their health, there are ways to help people without shaming people. First off, ask for their consent to talk to them about it without judgment. Better yet, don't solicit advice unless the person asks for it or you get their permission first. You don't even have to be shamed and be in a religion. I get shamed all the time, in person, online, in videos. Religion doesn't want people to be different. Religion doesn't want people to trust themselves, to set boundaries, to confront bad people, because religion is all about control. Because when you're different, you're a threat. You look at countries that have horrible existences, women who are treated terribly, minorities and queer groups that have been tormented for hundreds of years. People who don't support, who aren't allies to people who are marginalized or erased. There are words for these people. I mean, Hitler, he took away trans people's rights and then killed them. I mean, the only thing Trump hasn't done is the kill part yet, but I wouldn't hold my breath. If Trump could, he would make everyone disappear who isn't cis, straight, or adheres to his toxic version of gender, marriage, and family. You don't have to adhere to anything unless it's legal or the right thing for you. If you don't want to be married or you want to date whoever you want, live the life you want. Make sure it's legal and makes you a better person, and the people that you interact with, make sure that it makes them a better person after the fact. Because if a behavior, a religion, an activity, if it doesn't make you a better person, if it's not worth your time, don't do it. The problem with churches, they expect everyone to have the same narrow view. There's no room for anything else.